Well, we're going to do a little metal detecting today. I'm on a brand new permission. I do have permission on a farm close by, which is actually where I was headed, but I wanted to check this place out first. I've never really hunted it a lot because you'll see that it's all wooded and there's a lot of little bushes. But I thought what I'd do is I just kind of hunt my way across it, you know, with the metal detector, just listening. And I just found some bricks, and that's a good sign when you find bricks in the woods. I haven't dug anything yet, but that is an old brick right there. That might be another piece of one. So there's a chance, I thought that might be a dig hole, but I don't think it is. So there is a chance that there's some sort of house or structure or camp or something in this very area. Now, we all know that rocks do not roll uphill, so the chances are if that brick is from a structure, the structure will be uphill, because of course the structure would crumble and the brick would work its way downhill during times when it was being plowed, or stuff just moving around. Gravity would bring it downhill. So the first place we're going to look is right here, and then we're going to work our way uphill just a little ways and see if we can't find a foundation. It's pretty exciting. I love it when you get into a new spot like this and you see bricks, or oyster shells are even better in my area. I've worked my way uphill not more than 50 yards, and there is a pile of other stuff here, but it has concrete in it. And we know that concrete isn't that old. I mean, 1900 or later, pretty much. That's where I found the brick, right down there in that area. And here's a pile of stuff here. It looks like it was pushed up. There is a lot of iron in here. There's another piece of brick right there. That's like modern concrete, 1900 or later. So this could be an old house. It might just be a dump. You can see it goes all the way down through there. It looks more like a dump to me. We'll dig around here a little bit, see what we can find, see if we can find an old house. If I don't get anything good, we'll just keep hitting the road and cross over to the next farm where it's a little bit more open, and I know that there are some foundations. Or these other piles of bricks. Hopefully not like this. Well, here's my first target that I just kicked out of the dirt, and that's not very promising. That's a modern, very modern, you can see the zinc in there, or something with zinc in it, door handle. We might have to keep moving. Well, here is my very first target, old target anyway. Found one other thing so far, but it was junk. I think it's either a button or a coin. What do you think? Oh, I think it's a half cent. Is that a half cent? Looks like a crown. Looks like a wreath on the back. All right, I'm going to clean it up a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rub that on my pants. Now, a lot of you guys say, hey, why don't you spit on it or carry some water with you and clean it up? If you watch my videos, you'd know. I'll rub this on my pants for just a minute, and then we'll come back and look at it. What I'm doing is I'm just kind of scratching a little bit of the heavy dirt off. If this was a silver coin, I would not do that. But then again, it wouldn't have this crud on there. So let me go ahead and finish scratching it off, and we'll take a closer look at it. So I scratched and rubbed on it a little bit. I think that's an 1811. I'm not 100%, but look at the back of this. That's probably the more interesting side. As you can see, that's definitely a half cent, which of course is, half a penny. But it looks like they rubbed out the C, the N, and the T, and the word cent. So it just says half E. Now, I think that's probably done on purpose and not a function of the wear, because I found a coin a few years ago. It was a 1 cent. And what they had done on the back where it says 1 cent is they scratched out the cent, well, E-N, they scratched out the E-N and made a U-N. So spell that out with a C and a T on the end. And it's 1 something. Now, if I can find that coin in my collection, which I should be able to do, I'll post up a picture of that after the credit roll on this video. So if there's more than 30 seconds left when this video is over, there's a picture of that neat coin. It's kind of cool, it really is. So I haven't made it to where I wanted to go. That's where I just dug that half cent. We're going to work this little hillside right here. I didn't really get a lot of iron signals yet, but I was kind of hurrying through to try to get to that other spot. So let's slow down here a little bit and see what we come up with. Well, it's possible we have another coin. About a foot away from where I dug at half cent, I have another identical signal, or at least nearly identical. Let me move the shovel. I'll let you listen to it. That's where I dug the coin right there. And right here, I hear another one sounds just like it and reads like it somewhere. That's a little lower. I don't think that's... Yeah, it could be. Definitely a good signal. We'll just listen around a little bit here. Yeah, here, there's not iron in here. So, maybe there is a home site here. That might be worth digging up too. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and dig this one up now, while we have your interest. First thing I do is I always kick the dirt back, or the leaves and stuff back. That way if it's in the leaves, it'll move. That way I don't have to dig a hole. So it's better for the property. It's easier for you and better for the property owner if you can just kick it out of the leaves and pick it up, as opposed to digging a hole if it was really on the surface the whole time. Alright, so I suspect it's still buried though, because it sounded like it was deeper. Yep, it's right there. It reads a little bit, not quite as high as the coin. Coin was in the 80s, this is in the 70s. So it may not be a coin, but it could be. Just a little plug. I'm going to dig one more dig here, just to make sure we got it out of there, so we don't have to do this again. Alright, that should get, we should have it in that. By the sound of the signal, I don't think it was any deeper than that. So it should be one of those two piles. We'll check the deep pile first. Nope, let's check the shallow pile. Nope, that means it's still in a hole. Oh, jeez. It was actually deeper. It's right in here somewhere. Go ahead and pull it out, just to make sure we haven't dug it up, because I don't want to hit it with a shovel. Let's check it. Okay, good, still in a hole. Let's go a little deeper. I'm going to come out just a little bit that way too, so I don't hit it. I didn't think it was quite that deep by the sound of it. There's a big root there, so I'm going to have to go around that root. There we go. Hopefully that got it. Well, you know what we're going to do? Let's go on this side of the root again. And if you watch, this is the root right here. I'm going to push the dirt through the root up underneath it. See how I did that? And then we'll just pull it up with our fingers. That way there's much less chance of hitting whatever it is. Now, this could be a coin since it's so deep. It was a nice deep signal. Alright, let's run the machine over it. See what we have. No. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Alright, now listen. You notice I had a decent signal. We dug down and now the signal's gone. I get this question all the time from you guys. One of two things happened. Either the machine was... let me try. Either the machine was confused when it first heard the signal and didn't know if it was iron or it was good. So it gave a signal, you dig it up, and depending on where your discriminator is set, the machine might now know it's iron. If it's a nail, you won't hear it. It'll be like the signal disappeared. That's why a lot of signals disappear, because it's a little piece of iron, deep, the machine's not sure, dig it up, the machine knows it's iron, so it blanks it out so you don't hear anything. Hunt with your discriminator lower, that way you don't ever have that problem of not being able to find something. Now, I don't think that's the case here, because that was a really good signal. I think it's still in the hole, but it is in the bottom, and it probably fell out of the loose dirt when I was digging, and it's too deep now for the metal detector to hear it, I suspect. We'll get the pinpointer out and check. So I suspect what happened, it was here and it fell down in the hole, and now it's down 1.5 feet or well, a foot, and the machine can't hear it. So let's see. You know what? I didn't put a battery in here. Well, so much for that. Well, let me check and see if there's a battery in it. No, I've got to put a battery in it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be in this loose dirt right here. If it isn't, I'm a monkey's uncle. For sure. So we'll get all of the loose dirt out. I don't see it yet in that loose dirt. It's kind of worrisome. It should be in there though. Let's listen. Alright, well, maybe it was iron. Let's see. Metal detector still on. Discrimination's a little bit high, but disappeared. That's what you guys tell me happens all the time. But I know that signals don't just disappear, so it's either still down deeper but packed into the ground where I dug it, stuck to that root, or stuck to my shovel. Let's check the shovel first, because that's the most likely culprit. Alright. Do you see it? I don't see it, but we'll find out. Let's pull this off. Nope. Nope. No. Well, no. Alright, I'm going to dig the hole out a little bit. I'm going to set the shovel down for just a minute, or the camera down for just a minute. So what I did is I cut the root with a shovel and dug all of the dirt out of there. And indeed, that's what happened, is I knocked it down on the bottom of the hole, and when I was trying to push the dirt under the root, it got jammed into the side, and it was too deep for the machine to hear at that point, because I can hear it in the dirt here. I don't know what it is yet. But this is the dirt I just dug out, and that's the root, of course, and I ran the machine over it, and I can hear it. Listen. It's right there. You see it? I suspect it's going to be old, because it's fairly deep, and I don't think this area was plowed a lot. Oh, look! You see it? Whew, that's a large cent. Or colonial copper, one of the two. Or a button. Look, I scraped it. I thought that was a large cent. It's a little too big for a large cent though, isn't it? Alright, let's got a design maybe, eh? Maybe it's a George Washington button. You know, I have never found a George Washington button. Ever. I think you're just going to have either no design or a slight flower design on it. Now the fact that we found a coin and a button side by side is very hopeful that we're near a home site of some sort. Yeah, that's just a big, what we call a dandy button. This would have been popular 1780s, 90s, by 1810 or so, they were out of fashion. So, all right, that's good. Two relics, well, 1 foot apart. Perfect. So what I'm doing is I'm working my way up the hill slowly. I'm about, I don't know, 40 feet above where I just found that coin in the button. The iron is definitely getting a little bit heavier. I got a halfway decent signal here we're going to dig. But what I like to do when I first find a spot, especially, only if I'm by myself, obviously, is I don't like just hammer the little spot. I like to know what's in the area. So when I find that coin in the button, first thing I'm going to do is try to find, kind of spiral out and look for the concentrations of stuff. And I might find that, 50 yards this way is where the foundation is, and it's loaded with gold coins. So I want to hit that first. Now, if there was someone with me, of course, I couldn't do it like this because they'd be back there behind me digging right now. So that's why I like to dig alone. Because I can take my time. I could quit right now and come back tomorrow. But we're not. We're going to dig this, and we're going to move up to this little knoll right in front of us. You can see this little knoll. So the higher I get through here, the more iron I'm hearing. So I'm very hopeful. But let's dig this signal first. Right in here somewhere. There's a lot of iron. You'll hear the iron. I think that's, let me move that shovel back. I think that's probably a non-ferrous item next to a ferrous item, or iron, non-iron next to iron. That's iron. So you can hear all the iron right in here. I think there's something small right there. Maybe. Well, I'm like 85% sure there's something small there that's not iron. I don't think it's going to be too deep. That was pretty small, actually. Shotgun shell. See right here? That's a shotgun shell. If I had to kick that first, it might have come out of the dirt, but it might not have. But that's what it was. And I think there's square nails in here, is what the other signals we're hearing. Okay, what I did here is, that's about where I dug the shotgun shell. And I went around this little area with the metal detector, and I found, or here, 3 decent signals. 1, 2, and 3. I figure I'd do it this way just to speed it up a little bit. Let's go ahead and we'll listen to it and dig it, and then we'll move on to the next one. There's a lot of iron in here. Okay, so that's right there, just off to the side of where I dug. Or dug, I didn't dig, but just scraped the top like I normally do. Do you see it? I don't see it. A lot of times you can see it come up in the dirt. I'll go ahead and give this one more dig over here. There we go. We probably got it then. I have a feeling it came up the first time, but I don't... No. Still buried. Still down there. This little machine's going pretty deep today. I guess there's all the moisture in the ground. Alright, I had to get up. I think we probably got out of the hole this time. No, still in there. 87 though. That's like a coin. Let's go ahead. Maybe that's a buckle. Look, there's like a buckle right there. I thought it was a worm when I first saw it. Probably a little brass buckle. Yep, that's what it is. That's a nice little find. Won't complain about that. What do you think? You like it? I like it. Okay, we got two more signals. We got one there, one right behind us. Let's just drop back to the one behind us. I'll fill that hole in when we're done. I think it's right in here. Yeah, something right here. So we'll go ahead and dig that. A lot of times when you get on these home sites, you can find a ton of these coins. I'm hoping this is one of them. It started out pretty good, and it's quite a few signals, and there's a lot of iron in here. Alright, so it's over here somewhere. Sounds pretty small, doesn't it? There it is! What is it? It's almost like a modern penny. That's a button. That's a pewter button, or some type of button. Looks burned, doesn't it? This might actually be where there's a home that burned. Yeah, that's definitely been burned. Let's wipe it off on the pants just a little bit. Yeah, that's been in a fire for sure. You can see the shank on the back. I'd say that's a turn of the century button as well. I'll clean it up a little bit better here in a minute, and well, we don't need to, it's plain. But that kind of is giving me an indication that maybe the house burned. Which can be good because, you know, if anything that was in it probably is still here. Wasn't good for the people 200 years ago, but might be good for us today. One more signal. I was just getting up to go to that last signal, and I saw a piece of pottery in here. Yeah, that's old redware right there. Look at that. That's old. That's good stuff right there. That's 1700s, you know, early 1800s there. Yeah, we'll save that. Put it in the case with the rest of the stuff in the site. All the gold coins that we're going to find, and the silver coins, and the other amazing things. Alright, let's check out this one. That's a good signal. Right about there. Pretty much underneath that little sprout. Little sprout right there. We're going to have to dig it up. Alright, you ready? Here we go. You see it yet? I have to cut that. Look, there's pieces of brick. That's brick right there. It could be that pottery though, I guess. But it had the color of brick. Alright, we probably got it there. I don't think it was very big. It's hard to say for sure. Let's listen to the machine. Sounds a little different now, so maybe we dug it up and moved it. Let's check the loose dirt. Just to save us from hitting it with a shovel accidentally. Nope. Still in a hole. Okay. Yeah, see, it's deeper. It's right down in here still. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off for just a minute. Alright, it's definitely out of the hole. I ran the machine over the loose dirt here. Man, that's a nice loud squeak. What do you think it is? Do you see it? Do ya? Ah, looky, I bet that's a spoon. That's probably the bowl to a pewter spoon or a curled up silverware belt buckle. I'm going with pewter spoon. Yep, pewter spoon. A lot of times when you dig the cartridge box plates, they get curled up and look just like that. But that is a pewter spoon. That's the bowl. The handle would come out this way, and again, that shows us it's a good early site for here in America, or at least where we're at, which should be, you know, mid-1700s is pretty early right here. that's a good find. That tells me the place has not been dug, at least this particular site right here. Flies are out. It's mid-February. This is a good example as to what I'm talking about. I got a nice squeaker right here. So I just kind of kick the dirt back like that, and I can look down and see that it is a modern rifle cartridge. So I didn't have to dig a hole there. And we can go ahead and bag it. And there's no hole that I had to dig and waste energy on, possibly hit the target on. And there's no hole for a skunk to come by and dig out and have the landowner see and think I left it open. Because that happens all the time. Especially with foxes. They like to dig out dig holes. So I'm working my way around the hillside. I'm getting a lot of iron pretty much everywhere I go, you know, small iron. I did just dig this. You know what that is? If you look at it, it has a little bit of a curvature on it. So that tells me that's probably like a skillet or a pan for cooking, because of that curvature. So that's a good sign. And I also got a nice signal right here. It was down in this clay. Very heavy clay. It was deep. So I'm thinking it's probably not like a shotgun shell. And it should be in that dirt right there. That's what I heard it. I'll let you listen. See? It's one of these two piles. Ah, it's in that pile probably. Do you see it? I love just kind of looking. See if we can get a glimpse of it. You see any glimpses of it? Not yet, huh? That could be it right there. A little piece of brass, I think. I did find one similar to this about 10 feet away. Yeah, that's what it is. Nondescript though. Don't know if we'll ever figure out what it actually was. Yeah, I got another little chunk of this right over there, and the piece of pot came from a little further up that way. And the coins and the buttons came from behind me. So there's definitely targets here. I mean, that's like, you know, not going to win me the find of the month at the next club meeting, but it's still hopeful. I'm hopeful because I found it. This is the area where I was finding the stuff. The buttons came up in there. I guess a coin must come from around here somewhere. But I got a nice signal here into the grass. It sounds better than a shotgun shell, so I'm hopeful that it's not a shotgun shell. We'll kick the grass back first. Scuff it up a little bit. Make sure it's still there. Yeah, still there. Not a shotgun shell. I was reading a little too high. But it's something worth digging. Alright, do you see it yet? I'm always looking. Let's try that scoop of dirt. Kick that back out of the way, kind of flatten it out a little bit. Piece of iron there for sure. But I don't think that signal was iron. And again, this is one of those disappearing signals. Something very small that might be good there. It might be iron, but I think what we heard is still in the hole, but has fallen down in there, so we can't hear it. Now that's just my guess, because I don't think what we're hearing to the side there is what we were hearing in the beginning. That just sounded like too good a signal. Alright. We'll find out. I hate it when those roots get like that. There we go. Alright. So, if it was something good, it should be in that dirt. Yep. Yay, I was right. All those years of experience paid off. Okay. Do you see it? Oop. Not yet. Move that just to the side. It's pretty small, I guess, huh? Alright, we'll just start picking up the dirt. Going across. Probably a little tiny button, if I had to guess at this point. Yeah, it's in here. What is that? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. What is it? Looks like a cross. Oh, look! It is. Oh, that's cool. What if that's old? I don't know anything about jewelry and how old something might be. Oh, that's pretty though, huh? Let's look at the back. I'd say that could be period. It looks like it has a pretty old type of clasp on it. I'll clean that up a little bit for the end of the video, and maybe some of you guys and gals that know a little bit about jewelry can tell me about it. A little sparkly stone in it, little green stone. Maybe it's a gem. Oh, it's a clover. It's a 4-leaf clover. Irish. I'm mostly Irish, you know. I did one of those genetic tests, you know, where you send in your spit. Turns out a majority of me is Irish. Who would have thought? Maybe me lucky uncle lost this, eh? I probably sounded more Canadian. I'm an idiot. That's beautiful. I do like that. That's cool. That's the best find so far. And just to show you what I was talking about, that iron, I think it's probably a little piece of iron. Or something right there in that dirt I dug up. I got the discriminator up just a little tiny bit because of the minerals in here. So it could be a tiny piece of iron. Or it could still be in the ground. And maybe it was something I didn't dig up at all. So let's listen. Yeah, that's what it is. It's something I hadn't dug up. It's still there, but it's iron. I didn't turn my metal detector on for this signal because it was, you know, kind of scratchy. And I didn't think it was going to be any good. So I just dug the hole. What do you think? Jeez. That's a piece of an arrow, a broadhead for a bow and arrow. That's a razor blade, extremely sharp. Extremely. I guess I'm lucky I didn't cut my fingers. I probably should have had gloves on. Just dug a big horseshoe. This is not necessarily from this home site. This could have been lost from horses they had in these fields or working these fields over the years. I don't know how old it is, but there's a nice weird signal right here. You see where I scraped the dirt back with my foot, but it's giving me a double beep. Listen. So I'm kind of curious about this one. That's odd. It's not a normal signal. So let's dig right here. It's not iron. That's a rock. Hopefully we can just pop it up without hitting it. You see it yet? I have to cut this root right here. Ow, 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 ow. Of course I need to be a little careful because I just found a razor blade. So we'll definitely be a little bit more careful. Alright. I'm going to pop the camera off for just a minute. I'm going to round this hole out and take all this stuff out. Alright, it's out of the hole right in here. I can hear it still give me the double squeak. I don't know what it is, but let's be really careful in case it's another razor blade. Ah, look, it's a button. Why is that button giving us a double squeak? Why is that? You think there's 2 buttons there? That's odd. Let's see what it is. That's a flat button. Must be just the way it was laying. Got a nice shank on it. That's where the thread would go through to attach it to your clothes. That, of course, would be the eyelet. That would be a hole in there. Let's check and make sure there's not another button there. Nope, just a weird double beep. But I'll take it. So I've worked my way up around the hill and back again. I'm right in that area where I had those 3 signals that I dug one right after the other. And I have 3 more signals in the same general area that we're going to dig now. 2 of them sound kind of smallish, you know, brass or copper. One is big. It might be a can, like an aluminum can or a big chunk of iron. I'm not sure. But we'll find out. Let's do this one first. This is a kind of a smallish thing, but I think it's going to be copper or brass. So we'll dig this up first. Maybe a little button or something. I don't think it's too deep, but I've been totally wrong a million times. Definitely watch out for the razor blades, but I know what they sound like. They give kind of a scratchy sound. Not very good, but weird. That's why I dug it. But I'll probably pass those up for now. Hopefully that's it. No, it's deeper. I'm going to have to turn the camera off. Alright, it's definitely out of the hole. It's pretty small though. It's right in this stuff here. I don't see it. So we'll just pick these clumps up first and listen to them. Probably in this loose stuff right here. No. Not yet. Whoops. I think I just threw it away. Yeah. God, it's tiny, whatever it is. I dropped it. Oh, there it is. I think it's a button. See it? That's a little pewter button. That's why it sounded so weird. And a lot of these you have to be careful with because they can be military. I don't know if this is. Let's go ahead and rub it on the old pants just a little bit. I always rub it on a seam, because if you rub it here, it'll wear a hole in your pants really quick. So you find a seam like that that's double or triple thick. And I can't tell, it's probably just plain. Might have an eagle on it, like 1812 era. Okay, let's go dig. Those other two signals, one's a good brassy signal, and the other one's a big iron or Budweiser can signal. Alright, this is the second signal. That should be a decent target. Right under that leaf. Alright. Good, got a nice deep shovelful there. So there it is, see it? It's a big button, I believe. I believe that's another big dandy button. Too big for a large scent. I'll try to get in the shade over here where we can see it. Kind of hard to see when it's light shining. Yeah, it's a big old dandy button. If you look right here on the back, you can see there's a little mark there, a little divot. That's where the shank would have been soldered to it. Let's just make sure it's not a George Washington. They have been found in this area. I've had friends that have found them. But that's not a George Washington. Just another big dandy. Late 1700s probably. Very early 1800s. We'll fill in the hole and go to that next big target. Alright, so this is a big target here, screaming like a belt buckle or a Budweiser can. You can't really tell them apart very easily. I think it's right about here. I'm assuming since it's in that loose dirt, it's probably a Budweiser can. But you have to still be careful. You see it yet? Over here. And if I just wasn't holding the camera, it'd be a lot easier for me. I might have to set this down just in case it isn't a Budweiser can. Alright, I'm going to turn the camera off and we'll dig it up in case it's a belt buckle. I don't want to hit it. Alright, I think I see it. I have not picked it up yet. That might be a rock. Never mind. I thought this was it. Ah, ooh, me likey. Look at that. That's a little hatchet. Look at that. That's a beauty. Ah, wow, that's an old one too. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, that is really cool. I love it. They're pretty rough on that thing though. Look how they beat up the end. Oh, that's a beauty right there. I like it. That's a nice little find. I'm just taking a quick break. I didn't bring a lot of water with me today. Now, although it's mid-February, it's got to be in the upper 70s. And it's really kind of hot. I mean, I was sweating like crazy. I've dug around the hill once and came back to the area where we first started. Still finding lots of stuff. I think I probably have recovered less than 5% of what I'm going to end up recovering here. So it's been a really good day. We're going to spend another half an hour here. Once you get rested up a little bit. I'm not going to go to the second site, the one I actually wanted to go to today. We'll go to that another day. But I'll clean the stuff up before I take off. And we'll look at it. But we're going to hunt around another hour or so. But just give me 5 to rest. That sounds like a dinosaur, didn't it? Sounds like T-Rex is coming to get me. I'm almost done with my little break. I've been sitting here for about 20 minutes just kind of vegging out and looking around. And I'm kind of been able to figure out a little bit about what's going on here, I think. I see the area right here to my right where I'm finding most of the stuff. That's probably where the house stood. But as I'm looking over to my left, I can see a little bit of a ditch. You can kind of see that right there. It's probably difficult to see it on the camera, but it's between it's almost to where the second band of light is showing. There's a ditch right there. And I think that's the old roadway. You can see it again right here. The old roadway that came up from the bottom, because there was a very old road down in the bottom, ancient road for this area. And I think that's where they came up to the hill to the house, and it kind of sweeps around behind me. And because I found the burned stuff right there, and most, the coins and most of the buttons so far, suspecting that might be where the house sat. We'll have to do a little more investigating, because it could be just where they threw the trash. But this from here, another 7,500 yards up the hill, there's tons of iron signals. So we're going to be busy here for a while. I figure we got probably two more good trips in here before we'll get it, 70-80% covered. So that's pretty exciting. Let's get back to it, I guess. I drank all of my water. Glug, 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 glug. I carry it in my belly. So we'll see how long we last. Should probably take a nap. Beautiful out here today. Fortunately, my battery on my camera is just about dead, so we're going to hunt until it dies, and then once it dies, we're going to split, and we'll do the wrap up at my house. I have a beautiful signal right here. This is about where I found the coin. Well, that's exactly where I found the coin, and I got another coin type signal right here. It's a nice, heavy, brassy, coppery signal. So something good size, like a coin size. The fact that we're not seeing a rifle casing yet is a good sign. I think it's about underneath that thing right there. So we'll come back just a little bit and dig it out. And hopefully it'll pop up. You see it? Nope. There it is. Was that a rock? That's a rock. I thought it was a big piece of brass. I'm going to have to turn the camera off. I'll turn it back on when we dig it up. Battery's almost dead. It's a beautiful squeak right in that stuff. Right in here, you can see there's some brick or some pottery right there. Do you see it? Not yet. It's pretty good size. We should be able to see it really easy. No! Battery's going dry. It's this huge thing right here. I don't know what it is. Big piece of copper, I guess. Copper sheet of something. I don't know if it's military or not. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera back off and we'll clean it up. It's almost like a plate, but not quite. And we'll clean it up and look at it later. I decided to go ahead and call it a day because I don't have much battery life left in this camera. And I feel like I'm cheating on you guys if I don't have the camera running. So I'm going to show you what we found. I got it cleaned up. I'm going to hunt my way out, so I'll be looking for another spot for another day. But let's go ahead and look at what we found today. Don't forget, when I get to the very end of this, if there's more than 30 seconds of the video left, look at the very end at least. Check out the credits because those are my channel supporters. But go to the end and look at that coin that I'm going to show you. I found that a couple years ago. It's a little risque if you have kids, but it was something that was done back in the 1830s or whatever, so it's pretty cool. Alright, the red light's flashing like crazy, so let's go ahead and get through this quickly. One whole horseshoe. That's my lucky charm right there. Got a half cent, and if you look closely, it just says half and E. The rest of the letters have been scratched out. I think it's in 1811 or around then. This is off a saddle. That's for a strap guide. Got a few buttons here. A couple dandy buttons, couple regular buttons. This is a pewter spoon. This is a pewter spoon. And this is part of a spoon as well. These are good old things. Late 1700s, early 1800s. You see the rest of this stuff. This was a big chunk of stuff that I found. And I believe it's probably like a copper pot or something, or a copper bucket. This is probably part of the handle assembly right there, I think. And there's going to be a lot of scraps at that up there. This is interesting. I do believe this is part of a parasol, like a umbrella. We find similar ones in Civil War camps. Not exactly like this, but I suspect that's where the little splines of the umbrella go up through there to hold it open. A couple modern shotgun shells, a Remington and a Revelation, and a .223 round. Alright, we have to go now. That's pretty cool, huh? Thanks for joining me. I'll try to bring extra batteries next time, I promise. We're coming back here within the next couple of days, so we'll see you then. Thanks. Don't forget to like and subscribe.